Hey trackies, welcome back to another video. Please remember to smash that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. That's how the video gets to the YouTube algorithm. Share the video if you care. I hope y'all care. So share, and yes, please sound off in the comment section below. Non-stop action, jam-packed. I'm excited. We're in the peak of the track and field season, and yes, we are getting meetings blow by blow, and we are absolutely here for it. So from now, as far as I'm concerned, go straight back to the end of September, depending on when that Athos meeting comes up, maybe early October, not sure. But anyway, depending on when that meeting comes up, yeah, we'll be having non-stop action for track and field, and I'm hoping that you all are sticking and staying because it is going down, right? I'm excited. We have the knockout championships that's coming up, this week. We have diamond leagues that are coming up, and of course, World Athletic Tour gold meetings as well coming up. So yeah, enough things are going. Make sure that you are ready for all of the news delivery. Now, trackies, y'all know I love to talk. So this is my favorite time of the year when everything is coming to a fever pitch, right? So I'm going to take things up from the Goulet Esteban Memorial again. Now, yesterday I did touch on that. I talked about, Shane Thompson in the men's 100 meters and my expectation. I'm just looking out to see how he looks technically. That's just my thought process going into that men's 100 meters. It is a warm up to absolutely special things that will be coming. And of course, for this women's 100 meters that I'll be touching today, listen, we haven't seen our heavy hitters since the National Senior Championships. Yeah, man, we not see them since over a month ago. And the rest of the world, I say, oh, Jamaica is gone. Jamaica is forgotten. Stop holding on to the past. All these different things that people have to say. And you know what? Y'all woke us up. Y'all woke us up. Our girls are ready to eat. Yeah, they're ready to eat and tell y'all that, look here, we not gone away. No. Me have to drop up for the song there because anytime on a disrespect Jamaica, me have to drop for me look on Movado. We not gone away. All right. So in the lineup for the women's 100 meters, we have the national champion, Tina Clayton. She ran a personal best 10.81 seconds. We also have Shelly and Fraser Price. She was third. This season has gone 10.91. However, she has a really phenomenal personal best. Only sitting behind two athletes, actually, which is the world record holder, Flojo, and of course, Elaine Thompson-Herah, the unofficial world record holder. She's only sitting behind those two athletes, Shelly and Fraser Price, third all time, 10.60 seconds. And based on a few little key indicators that I'm looking forward to in this particular race, if I see that, then I know potentially she can get close enough, and I'm like, all right, let's see how it's going. Now, for Shericka Jackson, she's also in the lineup as well. This season, 10.88 seconds, and has a pretty personal best as well, 10.65 seconds. So our Jamaicans are no joke, and people underestimating them to me is wild, given our history of dominance. How dare some of y'all? You know what I mean? Forget what happened or what didn't happen. We don't even know what happened. You know what? It was a blank year. This is like one piece where there was a blank year in 2024 and we don't know what happened. The records have been, expunged from history. That's how Jamaicans are looking at 2024, right? The records have been expunged from history. So, with that being said, given our history, I don't know why y'all are underestimating our athletes, but also in the lineup, to compete with them from the USA, we have Mia McCoy, 10.96, a PB for her this season. Jasia Shears, 10.85 seconds this season. Crystal Slowly, not as fast this season, 11.16. Right, we have Canberra Sturgis, also from the USA. She has clocked a 10.98 this season. Mary-Jose Toulouse-Smith, looking out for her for sure, 10.90 seconds this season. And as well, Bolgarka Takacs from Hungary. She has run 11.06 seconds so far this season. So that is the women's 100 meter lineup. And yeah, as I said earlier on in the video, I'm looking for, a few key indicators to tell me whether or not my Jamaicans will be ready, yes or no. Now, clearly, the world isn't asleep. We see what's going on. We saw what happened at the USA Track and Field Championships with Melissa Jefferson coming out, clocking 10.65 seconds. Have me going, oh my God! It's getting red hot. You know what I mean? So yeah, we saw those things, and a lot of people now started counting out the Jamaicans to say, okay, we won't factor, because not only do you have Melissa Jefferson Wooden running, 10.65, but you also have the Olympic champion Julian Alfred has gone out so far this season to 10.75. But given the fact that, she doesn't have to worry about her trials, right? She only has to worry about peaking once. The expectation is that this Julian Alfred that we've been watching all season will be capable of also running 10.6 by the time we get to the World Championships. Now, championship running is a whole different kettle of fish, right? So when it comes to, competing and the competition, we may not get, 10.6 all the time, even if an athlete is capable of that. It's who turns up and runs their best on the day. That's just how it is, point blank, period. However, the thought process is, we don't have nobody, and we meaning Jamaica, not have nobody who can challenge those athletes. Well, guess what? I beg to differ, and I'm not just saying it because I'm Jamaican, right? So for this women's 100 meters, I am looking out for the key indication as far as I'm concerned is anything better than 10.8 low. For me, is a great indication that we have our athletes back to where they need to be, because by the time they peak for the World Championships, then yeah, we'll be seeing them running close to what their personal best is. Or in the case of a Tina Clayton, as far as I'm concerned, I'm expecting her to be better than that 10.81 seconds by the time we get to the World Championships. So for the thought process that our athletes have been sitting around and idling and just being stagnant for this past month plus, I'm like, guys, wake up. There's no way our athletes have not made any kind of improvement. So how am I looking at this? At least heading into the World Championships, at least I've kind of come up with a thought process of my expectations for our 3 Jamaican athletes, right? So I'm thinking that our best shot of getting into 10.6 is probably Shericka Jackson, right? No, if Shericka, as I said, comes out and gives me that 10.8 low, and really, I'm looking for a 10.7 high. Really and truly, I'm looking for a 10.7 high in this particular race. If she gives me a 10.7 high in this race, I know for sure that we are ready. But as I said, I have a kind of range. So my range actually starts from 10.8 low, because I've kind of gone back and tracked a few athletes, and the athletes I really used to track is Shelly and Fraser Price. I've looked at her a few times heading into meetings, and or at least heading into championships, and I've seen where she's gone 10.8 low, and turned up at championships and dismantled the field. You know what I mean? So with that being said, if our athletes turn up, giving that 10.8 low. So even though I'm saying I really want to see a 10.7 high from Shericka Jackson, my range actually does start from 10.8 low. You know what I mean? So that's my thought process. But as I said, me, I look out for one kind of like a 10.7, but I think she's our best shot of getting into 10.6 for 2025. Now, when it comes to our national champion, Tina Clayton, 10.81, the only reason I don't have her, getting into 10.6 is just a developmental thing, right? These things I think take time, and it's not a process that you rush. So do I think that she'll be able to run 10.6? Absolutely, eventually. Do I think it will be this year? No. So my thought process is, because, she's still very young, still developing, I'm not necessarily thinking that she'll be able to drop 10.6, though she can surprise me. I'm not mad at it, right? Won't be mad at it, but I'm thinking that she'll be capable of a 10.7, right? 10.7 probably mid by the time she gets to the World Championship. So with that said, again, I'm ballparking this race 10.8 low, 10 high for Tina Clayton. That's my thought process. And then we have Shelly and Fraser Price. No, same thing as I expect from a Tina Clayton. I'm actually thinking that she may not be able to get back into 10.6s right for this season, but again, she can surprise me. It's so funny when it comes to underestimating Shelly and Fraser Price. Like, I haven't seen over the years how much she's come and defied all the odds. She's a woman that has defied every odds that have been out there and put on her shoulders. She's like, nah, I can show you that I can one up that. You know what I mean? So even though I'm putting her at a measly mid 10.7 for the championships, you know what I mean? I think that will be good enough for Shelly and Fraser to come out and really, challenge. And championship mindset is a whole thing. It matters. And I think Shelly and Fraser Price is also, an absolute gamer when it comes to competing. So this season, she's giving me 10.91. I'm looking for a low 10.8 in this race. If I get a low 10.8, I'm absolutely happy. I don't really have an expectation for like a high 10.7 like I do for maybe a Shericka Jackson, and even, lesser so a Tina Clayton. But I do have a low, 10.8 expectation qualification for Shelly and Fraser Price. That is my thought process. So now it kind of makes things interesting for this women's 100 meters, because if I'm saying things the way I'm saying it, based on how I'm hoping that they turn up at the World Championships, then it means that Shericka Jackson wins this race. That's pretty much what I'm saying. But actually, I'm wondering if Tina wins this race. I feel like Tina wins this race, right? So it means that Tina Clayton may very well give us that 10-7 to win the race to beat out Shericka Jackson. I'm not mad at it. So we may potentially get two 10-7s in this race, potentially, right? And then, of course, Shelly and Fraser Price will be there for third. I have Mary Jose Toulouse Smith there for fourth. And then, probably Jasia Shears, coming in. Not probably. Jasia Shears will be there, coming up as well. I think I'll just round it up of top 5 when it comes to this women's 100 meters. But yeah, that's my thought process. So my thought process is, by the time we get to the World Championships, I believe that Shericka Jackson will be potentially challenging her 10.65 PB, right, which puts her right in the ranks of, what we've been seeing the rest of the world do so far this season. Shelly and Fraser Price mid 10.7, Tina Clayton mid 10.7. For this particular race, my ballpark or range for giving me a good indication that they will be ready is a low 10.8 into a high 10.7. So, Trackies, how do I sound? What are your thoughts for this women's 100 meters, especially given the fact that we have not seen them for a month plus, right? Do you think they have made those improvements, or do you think that they're still going to be waiting right until the World Championships to really show their hands and show their cards? As far as I'm concerned, if you have certain expectations of athletes, especially to run a certain time, then they will start showing the signs, right? So they may not run the exact time, which is fine for me, but I will need to see some kind of sign to tell me that, yeah, they'll be capable of going that fast, right? So I'm looking out for those signs in this race. What are you looking out for? Like the video, of course, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.